All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another MMA YouTube video. This is our quick little recap for the Des Moines card. Absolutely horrific UFC card. We had the displeasure of viewing. There was a couple of good fights, obviously, Rainier to Ritter, which we will get to. We're going to start at the bottom of the card. We're going to get through a lot of these fights like really quick, though, because it's self-explanatory.
Yeah, I thankfully didn't watch most of the fights. I only watched the main event. I was being updated through the whole thing by Charlie and Milo through Instagram DMs. So I'll have very limited commentary in this one. So just I don't know, not be wary of that, but just let that be known. Uh, but yeah, it sounded like a horrible card. Awful main event. We haven't seen a main event end that poorly since maybe like UFC Seattle, but even then we got like two full rounds out of UFC Seattle. So, you know, three okay, yeah. So
Two and a half is the eye poke,
yeah.
but yeah.
Yeah, no, this was awful. Whole way through. Let's get into it.
Yeah, yeah. First two fights, Juliana Miller versus Ivana Petrovic and Thomas Peterson, Dontel Mays, boring ass garbage cans, terrible fighters, terrible fights. I got both of them wrong too. But hey, Quang Lee Gaston Bolaños. This is something to
Hold
talk
on.
about.
Hold
I
on.
picked
Hold on. Pump the brakes. Peterson looks like a fat baby and he robbed Dontel Mays. King Kong will rise again. Let's keep going. Yeah,
I think it's
Gaston Bolaños.
Lord Kong.
Lord Kong. Yeah, I forget. You got to
It,
get
it was
you need to put in that honorific when you talk to the goat like that. But yeah.
it was 30-25. But yes. All right. Quang Lee Gaston Bolaños. So I picked Quang Lee as an underdog. A lot of people were picking Bolaños, and I was like, hold on, guys. Quang Lee, for an 0-2 guy in the UFC, is pretty good. He's pretty solid. And yeah, he ended up showing it. Kind of just ragdolled Gaston Bolaños for an entire round. Then as soon as round two started, got after it, ended up choking him to sleep. It was pretty dope. I'll definitely be adding him to the spreadsheet, which if you don't know, the spreadsheet is our way of rating and ranking fighters in the UFC. It's in every video description. It's in our channel description. Go check it out. Use it as a guide to our videos. It has overalls akin to Madden or FIFA, and has pretty much every fighter, every important fighter in the UFC. That's why we're gonna add Quang Lee to it. Yeah. Do you have anything on Quang Lee?
I mean, Gaston Bolaños, all people heard was the Ilya Opturo jokes, and I think they saw Ilya Opturo versus a 0-2 guy they didn't know, and they very like badly underestimated Quang Lee.
I do.
So you got it, you got it. Um,
Yeah,
but
just gonna
yeah,
leave it
I
at
mean
that.
that's all you really have to say. He choked him out cold. That was pretty cool. But
Okay,
Quang Lee, hopefully he keeps winning. Uh,
all right.
you
I just
good?
want to. We should get through these fights, dude. They're so
Okay, I
shit.
know, man,
You're
but that's like one of the only finishes. So what else are you gonna say? Like,
true. Speaking of finish, we went on a bit of a three-fight finish streak here. We got Jillian Robertson. She TKO'd Marina Rodriguez, moved up in the rankings a little. This was an easy prediction, in my opinion. I saw people pick Marina Rodriguez. I was like, no, Marina Rodriguez is 38 and can't grapple. So Robertson got it done. I like Jillian Robertson, dude. She's an active finisher in the women's divisions, which is so rare that we get a real finisher. But she finishes girls on the ground, so yeah, she's cool.
yep,
Do you
nope, nothing to say. Let's keep going.
Azamat Bekayev, Ryan Loader. This is some little something to talk about. Our rating of Ryan Loader, which is 68 overall, one of the lowest of our ranked fighters, our rated fighters, got validated. He got destroyed in the first round. This dude cannot fight. Straight
Yeah.
up. He can grapple, he can wrestle, but he cannot fight. Bakayev's on roids, and he fucking walked him down and killed him.
Yeah,
It was a cool KO.
we've said this multiple times. Ryan Loader's like a 2007 2-2 bot wrestler. That guy is not an MMA fighter. He's not complete at all, and yeah, we saw that. Bekawev's pretty cool. Has really good power, good anti-grappling, and that dude has a ridiculous HGH gut. I don't know how he's still cycling in the UFC or why he's cycling HGH, but hey, do whatever you want, man. Like,
Looking at
shit's
the rest of this
crazy.
card, holy
Yeah,
shit,
it
dude.
is so
Um,
ass.
and yeah, so after this, we had a 4 decision streak, and some of them were brutal. Like the next
Oh
one, Misha
god.
Santos. I don't want to talk about
Why
it,
the
man. Gianna
fuck is
Santos
Misha
won.
Tate in the UFC in 2025?
Why is Gianna Santos in the UFC?
Either of
I
them.
don't want to talk.
Both of them should be
Um,
put to death.
for
Oh,
real. No, shout out Misha Tate,
yeah.
PNW led. Okay, Mason Jones, Jeremy Stevens. This is something to talk about. Jeremy Stevens looked all right, man. Like, He came in, he was throwing hard, he hit Mason Jones a couple of times, never rocked him, never like, but he stunned him a couple times. He kind of like, whoa, you know what I mean? He made him feel the power, but pretty much domination from Mason Jones. Absolute war in the first 2 rounds, just fucking gah, 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 you know, fucking war. Then the 3rd round, Mason Jones absolutely stunk it up, just grappled literally the whole time, which I'm not gonna like blame him for it, dude. This is his shot getting back into the UFC. Like, he's not gonna fucking trade on the feet with Jeremy Stevens for the entire fight because he did for 2 fucking rounds. You're welcome. He's not gonna do that for the entire fight and get KO'd. Like, yeah, he's gonna grapple, man. It's how he's gonna win the fight because Jeremy Stevens at this point in his career cannot grapple. So
He's
good win
never
for
really
Mason
been
Jones,
able to. But yeah.
but especially now. Like Mason Jones, I always loved him as a fighter in the UFC. Not loved him, but like, he's a blockhead. He's fun, and I'm happy to see him back in the UFC with a good win in his like re-debut. He'll definitely be getting added into that spreadsheet
For sure.
because he deserves it.
Yeah, personally, like on the more Jeremy Stevens side of things, I'm kind of disappointed that he came back to the UFC at all. This was his hometown, so I kind of get it, but like, really, why are you here? You are like the perfect BKFC fighter. Why are you not staying there? You knocked Eddie Alvarez out. Like that was it was like in my opinion a perfect career move for Jeremy Stevens, and I wish he stuck there. Of course he put on a good fight, so no complaints. But he's just adding to his record of the like losingest UFC fighter in history, for no reason.
I think Clay Guida still has it. I
Really? Oh,
believe
okay.
Clay Guida has it. He might have it by one. I'm not
Jeremy
entirely sure.
Stevens is here to take it back because Guida's
Yeah.
retired. But
Well, this is the nice thing I heard about Jeremy about so I think this is just a one fight contract or literally not a contract. Like I think there's no deal. I think they were literally just saying like, "Hey, you want to come back and fight in your hometown? Okay, cool." You know what I mean?
Yeah, if so,
Um
that's really cool. But go back to BKFC. I love you in BKFC, Jeremy Stevens. That's your home now.
Absolutely agree. Surrey City versus Cameron Smotherman.
We
Holy
were gassing, or
disappointment.
you. I wasn't in the video, but you were gassing this up like it was going to be a good fight, and it should have been. But
Because everyone was. This was
yeah,
a fucking war on paper. There's a reason it was on the main card over like you know they love putting random ass middleweights on the main card. This was on the main card over that shit. Um, but it
because
was a stinker.
the matchmakers were all like, "Oh yeah, we cooked with this one. This is going to be
Yeah,
fun." No,
straight up.
it
It
sucked.
was the perfect match, and no, it was just stinkers. I mean, Surrey City once again, kind of like Mason Jones. Like, yes, dude, it's smart because clearly Smotherman had the advantage in the striking. So it was like, okay, like in the volume striking, I'm sure he seemed like he just couldn't really affect City with his shots, but like so smart from Surrey City. But it was a stinker, man. It was a shit fight. Um, it was okay. It was like okay. I don't know. I don't want to call it a stinker. The exchanges on the feet were good. There was just way too much boring ass grappling where we
It
knew,
it
man. We
didn't
knew
live up
nothing.
to it. It didn't like simple as like that can make a fight worse, even if it's like okay, it's an average MMA fight. That anticipation and then just having a mid fight can make a fight so much worse than it actually is. And that happened here.
So it was just really boring, disappointing. But I am gonna have to raise Surrey City's overall. He's at 73 overall currently. He showed a new wrinkle in his game, right? His grappling. I think Cameron Smotherman is a respectable guy to do what he did in the grappling. Not like he like ragdolled him or anything, but he was able to implement it successfully and win the fight with it. So, you know, good win. He's on 2 or 3 fight win streak now. Let me check. I think a 2 fight win streak. Yeah, he's on a 2 fight win streak now. All right. Montel Jackson, man, Montel Jackson and Daniel Marcos. I'm gonna start with Montel because he's obviously the more interesting fighter. He looked really bad on the feet in the first 2 rounds, looked good on the feet in the 3rd round, and looked good in the grappling throughout. This was a an embarrassment, like horrible, horrible fight. The 3rd round was great. The 3rd round was fun. Jackson rocked him up on the feet at the start, got really aggressive, started trying to beat him. Marcos, fuck it, I'm going to talk about Marcos because it's necessary for the discussion of the whole fight. This is one of the most like embarrassing, uncharacteristic as well performances. Like Daniel Marcos is not that guy. He's not the guy to just not throw a single strike and shoot takedowns over and over and over again, clearly with no intent of any like effective damage or grappling. I mean, the guy looked like shit. He looked so bad. He fought terribly. It was really boring. And he basically just got beat up and just failed takedowns for the whole fight. It was such a bad fight and almost entirely due to Daniel Marcos. I do want to say embarrassing as well for Montel Jackson. What the finish him? Like he came close in the third round twice, once on the feet at the start and then at the end when he had that locked in darce, but he pulled it like a little awkward when he pulled him down with the front headlock and well he didn't. He pulled it. He was had him in the darce and pulled him down. He didn't even get him in the front headlock. Like he had him in the darce standing, pulled him down, but like he pulled him down at an awkward angle, so he never really had a chance to set in. So he was kind of just squeezing it, hoping that, but like at a certain point in jiu-jitsu, at a certain level, that's not going to work, and it didn't. Marcos got out. Jackson won 30-27 on all judges' scorecards. It was terrible. It was really bad. This was like the point in the card where I was like, dude, this is a fucking terrible card.
Yeah,
Like,
well, while not an exact comparison, I was thinking of Hooker versus Pueles, or kind of any Pueles fight. But dude, she was where he was like shooting instead of pulling guard, but just that kind of like inactivity grappling where you just look awful. Um, I'm worried about Montel Jackson. He should have smoked this guy. Like this version of Marcos, any fighter should be killing him, especially someone like Montel Jackson. Um, we're gonna have a video, and a huge part of that video is gonna be about Montel Jackson, about inactivity and its effects on fighters and its effects on the UFC. And I mean, we kind of called it. Didn't you say something about
I
that?
did. In the
Yeah,
pick video, I said, dude, this. I'm worried that this is going to be Montel Jackson's Mike Davis versus Fressium
it
performance.
it kind of
And
was, but his opponent was even worse. So
exactly. His opponent was not Fressium. His opponent was Daniel Marcos, the worst he's ever looked. But I want to say with Montel Jackson, like I think this is a lesson to him. Like, dude, get active. Fight in a couple months. You know what I mean? I think this should be a lesson to him. Like, you need to stay active. The ring he looked ring rusted horribly. Yeah. I don't think we need to harp on this anymore. Like Will said, we'll have an inactivity epidemic video coming out soon. I mentioned it in the picks video, but yeah. Um all right, D-Rod and Ponzinibbio. Not much to say. This was kind of an unk off for 2 rounds, right? A little bit of a low output, like whatever.
I
He
mean,
hurt him in
yeah,
round
both
two.
these dudes are old as fuck.
Yeah,
Ponzi got KO'd, and it was sad. They, for
it
some
was
reason,
sad as fuck,
recorded him standing up, stumbling. What the fuck is
dude.
wrong with you
The
guys?
UFC camera crews sometimes, man. Like when fucking Cruz got KO'd by Cheeto, but Cruz isn't as beloved as Ponzinibbio, which I know is crazy to say because Cruz was like a champion, but like in the hardcore MMA
I
fan
mean,
base,
Cruz is an asshole. Like that's the
yeah,
thing.
that's kind of what I'm saying. It's
Yeah.
like in the hardcore MMA fan base, dude, Ponzinibbio is beloved. That like 2016 to 2018 run he went on where he KO'd Neil Magny and fucking KO'd Gunnar Nelson and shit, dude. Ponzi's beloved. No one wants to see him stumbling around after he got slept. Why are you showing that? I don't know, man. It's weird as fuck. Um, but it was a cool KO. Unk finally
Yeah, I
got a
mean,
finish. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
cool to see D-Rod winning again. I like D-Rod. He seems like a cool guy, but like not much else to say with that.
Okay,
Especially, yeah.
okay. Let's just get on to it, man. Because like Will said, there's not much else to say. One of the sickest performances I've seen in a while. Rainier DeRitter versus Bo Nickel. Round one, dude. I mean, this is I just Rainier DeRitter is everything great about MMA. Like in a sport that has been struggling so much recently and has always struggled for like legitimacy and stuff. And just it feels like the sport is slipping away from the fan base's fingers. Dude, Rainier DeRitter, just like Randy Brown, he's one of those guys where it feels like he is one of the guys keeping MMA great. Like he's super active. He's fought 3 times in like 7 months. Can I count? 6 months. 3 times in 6 months. 3 finishes. Fights an insane prospect as a massive underdog and just fucking melts him. Walks through him and melts him. This was such an entertaining fight. The first round, like I said, Rainier got after him, man. He got super active on the feet. Just, I mean, he looks terrible on the feet, but hey, it is what it is. I'll get to round
It
two.
works, man. It works.
It works. He got super active on the feet. Kind of just like started backing Nickel up. He initiates the grappling. They kind of have a weird situation where one of them falls down, they get back up, and then Nickel pulls a guillotine. We get some cool grappling exchanges. Rainier rides out the rest of the round. Probably wins round one. Round two, dude, he just comes out. This is what I love to see. He's like, okay, I'm a fucking plus 300 underdog. I just won round one. I'm not bullshitting. so many guys stay bullshitting, like fucking Daniel Marcos. I'm not fucking bullshitting. I'm here to kill this dude. He just starts walking him down, gets him against the cage, like hooks to the body, uppercuts up top, just slamming shit to the body, slamming knees to the body, knee to the head, then hits him with his step-in knee to the body and fucking crumbles him. After, and you could tell NICKAL was like when he had him on the fence, they get off the fence, just boom, step-in knee to the body, crumples him, unbelievable performance. Calls out Strickland on the mic. We'll have the matchmaking video come out tomorrow. I want to see that. I absolutely want to see that. So, just awesome. Incredible result. The best result we had on this card. One of the best results we've gotten in a minute. I just love to see it.
Yeah, I mean, you pretty much covered everything. I was really happy to hear that when they said RDR won. I've like pretty quickly become an RDR fan. I wasn't very familiar with him before he left one, but it's so great to see a dude come out of like horrible contract hell where he's just not fighting at all and then just get after it over and over and over again with like pretty good opponents.
Mhm.
Especially recently, like Holland and Bo Nickel, those are like real wins. GM3, it depends on what GM3 shows up, but
He subbed GM3 in
yeah,
round
he
three.
did. He subbed
That is
round three
it.
GM3.
That
No
is
one has ever done that before. Um, Probably has. I don't know. GM3
good
is like a
check, but I
million.
don't think so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, dude, RDR, he's after it. He is such a fun contender. I'm really excited to see him fight more. I hope he gets that Strickland fight.
Yeah,
Now on
absolutely.
to the main event.
Yes. Just oh, I do want to say I was on Rainier in one because I thought he had a cool nickname, the Dutch Knight. Then when he got like fucking killed by Malikin twice, I kind of stopped caring. But now that he's in the UFC, I care. Okay, main event. There's just not much to say, is there? Corey was a -500 favorite for a reason. At first, you're kind of like, whoa, he's a -500. Then you think about it for like 30 seconds, and you're like, yeah, I know why. And this showed why. Figgy just was never in the fight, man. He looked old as fuck. I mean, this of course Figueiredo's always been like an inactive, like in the fight inactive kind of guy.
He
Like he,
fights
you know,
nonchalant as fuck. Yeah,
yeah.
like
But he looked terrible, pulling heel hooks multiple times. Sandhagen looked. I'll get to Sandhagen. Then ended up blowing his knee out. Just looked old and really bad, and it was sad, but it was expected. Like I said, there's a reason Sandhagen was a -520 favorite. You see it at first, and you're like, well, and it's like, no, it,
yeah,
it makes sense.
Figgy had literally nothing for Sandhagen at any point, and then he exploded his knee, getting in like the weird little leg tangle position. Um, at 37 years old, you shouldn't be there. I feel like you should be more conscious of your own, like, it's crazy to say, like, aging body as a fighter. You shouldn't be getting into those positions. And guess what happened? His knee exploded, and then he got punched in the face and tapped. Like,
Yeah,
it's
I
just
mean,
like it's
so
you can't go out sadder than that, really. Um,
yeah, it was rough to watch, but I do want to talk about Corey though. Corey, I mean, people were saying it. This did look like vintage Corey Sandhagen. This looks like the mean, violent Corey Sandhagen who wants to fucking hurt people. That's who this looked like because we have lost that man ever since the Peter Yan fight. So that means his last 4 fights have just been the most pedestrian. Like, can you fucking try? Like he seems like he's not trying to hurt people. He's
Especially
just dancing
Umar,
around,
dude. That
especially the
Umar
Umar
fight
fight.
was
Well,
painful to watch.
yeah, yeah. I mean, like the song fight like was cool, but then the Cheeto Vera fight, like, yeah, you dominated him, nice, but there was no violent intent. There
And
was no.
Cheeto
He was just like
sucks.
he was just like looking technical and okay. And then the Font fight, whatever, pulled his tricep, absolute stinker. And yeah, then like Will said, the Umar fight was just horrible to watch. He was just trying to look technical. Yeah, sure, man. You defended the takedowns and you employed your anti grappling pretty well.
Lost the
And
fight.
you threw
Got
some inside leg kicks. You
got
got
50
thoroughly
45.
49, I think 49-46, but you thoroughly lost. I mean, thoroughly lost nearly every round, nearly every second of the fight. It was so hard to watch that happen to Corey Sandhagen, especially after that streak he had from like the John Lineker fight, the Sun Sao fight, and Sterling fight, whatever. But the Marlon Moraes and Frankie Edgar finishes, the TJ Dillashaw and Peter Yan wars. we've lost that Corey Sandhagen, and I think he's back. Of course, really bad opponent in that version of Figueiredo. He will definitely be getting a massive lowering, because I think he might be done.
Yeah,
But yeah,
maybe the
man,
biggest
Sandhagen,
lowering so far that we've seen on this channel. Like that was
no,
really bad. No.
definitely not. We've seen some bad fucking Jordan Vucenic, dude.
Oh, I forgot
But
about that one.
we had another really Joe Anderson Brito, but who is kind of like Figueiredo in both looks and fight style. But yeah, so I think I love to see Sandhagen like true the real Corey Sandhagen is back, but it seems like Figgy's career might be over. Not just because of the brutal injury, he'll probably not come back till he's 38 plus, but also it seems like he doesn't have it anymore. Straight up. This was always going to be a hard fight for him, but it really seems like he don't got it.
I mean,
I
he
don't know.
had literally nothing. He had no point of success in the entire fight. Uh, I mean, he kind of got on his back for like a picosecond and then immediately got scrambled. So yeah,
Yeah, and
pretty much no
that's the
success.
he showed like he is such a high level grappler. He showed that in a little moment in that first grappling exchange where he got on his back and like he any other fighter would have fallen off there, but he managed to make it to a position where he had an opportunity to get back on the back and had him on the ground. But then it kind of just ended up like he was like, "Oh, but I'm 37. Don't I just want to pull guard and don't I just want to go for a leg?" You know what I mean? I think that's what we saw. Um, yeah, I mean that's it. RDR,
Yeah.
just fucking unbelievable. So hyped for more RDR. I'm down to see that Strickland fight. Like I said, matchmaking tomorrow, so
Hey,
you'll get to see
I
that.
feel like really bad for Kansas City. They've been, really
Des Moines.
starved, or Des Moines, sorry. They've been really starved for a UFC card here. Um, and I wish shit like that would happen in like Newark or Las Vegas. People who don't deserve to have good things, but
Fucking
but
the Kansas City card was pretty shit too, but
yeah, but like no,
at
people who
least that had
usually
drama.
don't get cards, it should like it sucks when the card's terrible like this because
Dude,
bad things should happen to bad people like people in
exactly.
Newark and Las Vegas. They get cards all the time for no reason. Atlantic City, Newark, anywhere in New Jersey, all of them need to die. They don't
Dude,
deserve good things or good UFC cards. I'm sorry, Des Moines, that sucked, man.
it
Uh,
sucked. I mean, 316 looks like a pretty shit card, so fuck you, Newark. And the Atlantic
oh,
City card fucking
I was about
sucked.
to say,
For-
hopefully it's
for-
complete dog shit, but like that's a numbered
yeah.
card, so it kind of
And Joshua Van's on it. They don't deserve Joshua Van.
they don't. Yeah,
They
kill New
deserve
Jersey.
they deserve Mario Bautista. All right. Okay. Thanks for watching. Uh, like I said, tomorrow for matchmaking.
Yep.
Tune in.
Like, subscribe, do everything. Thank you for watching. Horrible card. Hopefully we get this up soon enough to get at least like 2 views, but have a good one. All right, you don't have to be doing